Remember, good collaboration, you give turns?
Yeah.
All right.
Making sure that we're following the directions. I like how Wilson typed in his email.
Hi, I'm Juliana Finnegan, the Blended Learning Curriculum Designer at Relay Graduate School of Education. Welcome to Blended Learning 102, Rolling Out Blended. Let's begin with some words of wisdom from Miss Bridges, a middle school math teacher at Ranson IB in Charlotte, North Carolina.
If I had to give advice to a new teacher starting blended learning, I would advise them to take your time at the beginning. Practice transitioning. Let the scholars know exactly what they need to do. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Those small things that you think don't matter, they're going to matter, and it ends up taking a lot more time if you don't front load it at the beginning. So at the very beginning, we didn't do any content. We literally spent a day practicing how to transition from station to station.
Miss Bridges' advice is crucial for rolling out blended. Take your time and be strategic and thoughtful with every part of your rollout plan. As teachers, we know that rolling out curriculum, a routine, or even how to ask to go to the bathroom can take patience and organization. Rolling out blended learning is no different. We'll first focus on the why. Why is building a strong blended rollout so important? Then we'll look at the how by hitting on 3 steps vital to any successful blended rollout. Step 1, setting up your space. Gets you thinking about changes to furniture, structure, and the flow of the room. Step 2, rolling out routines. Includes strategies around devices and student movement in order to allow for efficiency in implementation. Step 3, building a blended culture. Culture is a key component of rolling out blended, but it will also foster excellence in any learning environment, especially a student-driven one. Throughout this module, you will also learn various concrete, practice-based strategies for blended routines and building a blended culture. Some of the strategies are blended specific. Some also work in a traditional classroom, but have been deemed vital to a blended rollout. I developed these strategies based on common denominators of practice I observed during numerous visits to K-12 district and charter schools throughout the U.S. These strategies support teachers' blended implementation in areas like organization of student movement, engaging student buy-in, and even just how to set up a clear way to distribute devices. During my research, I was struck by how often the small strategies were the keys to the larger learning. These strategies also have sticky names that are coachable and translatable across schools, grades, and content areas. A common taxonomy of practice, or jargon, is so important when rolling out any process, so that instead of reinventing the wheel, teachers can learn from each other in a meaningful, tangible, and practice-based manner. For each strategy, you'll get explanations from teachers currently using the strategy, a clip of the strategy in action, and how it fits into the rollout process. When working through this module and building your own rollout design, there are a few key points to keep in mind. 1, personalization. While these strategies can be taken as is, remember they can also be tweaked and adapted to meet your and your students' needs. Don't just pick a strategy because it looks cool. Pick one that will help support your rollout and your instructional practice overall. 2, patience. Rolling out blended and setting up routines takes time. We adults often forget how long it takes to not only learn a routine, but to truly internalize it, so it becomes second nature. Don't rush the process. any extra time you take at the front end will be well worth it at the back end. So don't rush readiness for yourself or your students. 3, flexibility. This is not only a key mindset when shifting to blended, but something to keep in mind throughout implementation. Remember that new strategies most likely will not work perfectly the first time you roll them out. That is okay. Think of it as more of a cyclical process of implementation, reflection, iteration, and trying it again and again and again. Keeping these 3 points in mind during this module will assist your implementation and help you look at the rollout process through a design lens to determine what went well, what didn't, and how to do it better the next time.
All right, so we're gonna open it carefully with 2 hands in 3, 2, 1, go.
Designing a strong rollout for blended can truly set the trajectory for the whole year. It's similar to a traditional classroom, but the goal is to give much more of the ownership to the students so they share the responsibility for their own learning and the effectiveness of the classroom as a whole. I hope you'll enjoy learning some great strategies, meeting some inspirational teachers, and building and/or fine-tuning your own rollout plan. Good luck and have fun.